Come on in, guys. Welcome back to class. Today we're going to be talking about Enki in regards to the sign of Capricorn and the goat um, or the goat scapegoat sacrifice, Azazel and the other goat. Make sure you're hitting that like button as you come across my content, darlings. Please. Thank you. All right. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. 2 minutes in. So, Enki is the Sumerian god of water, knowledge, gestu, crafts, or gasm. Sounds like orgasm. Tavares, darling, Tron in the building. Of course. Makes sense. So, the god of art, intelligence, trickery, mischief, magic, fertility, virility, healing, and creation. Nudamud, and one of the Anunnaki. He was later known as EA or EA, like EA Sports. It's in the game. Shantae Mason, how are you, darling? So, where do we get these names from? EA Sports. Why so many games, systems, platforms? So, EA or EI or AE, the inverse, in Akkadian, Assyrian, Babylonian religion, and is identified by some scholars with IA in Canaanite religion. Now, think about your state abbreviations like Iowa, the names of certain gods and the names of these locations. Start paying attention to the places you touch down at. Okay, so the name was also rendered AOS within Greek sources like Damascus. AK, exactly. Even with the numbers like your zip codes, area codes, Chicago and California or Los Angeles has an inverse. 312 was the original or the first zip area code that I remember being in Chicago. 213 is the inverse of that, which is Los Angeles. I also kept seeing something about the groves. So these different locations, if you study geography, the lay of the land, and the things that the Native Americans believed in as far as portals and things of that nature, you will understand like certain places are supposed to open up certain portals to other places. You have certain places on the land that are basically the levels of the land, like hell versus heaven. You have these like Death Valley, where the temperatures get up to 200 degrees. Then you go up into the mountains where it's freezing. You also have different places where you have both cold and hot at the same time. So, Grand Rising Zeus. Well, it's afternoon now. I've been doing a lot of writing. It takes me a long time to get all that writing done, but somebody's got to do it. Okay, so Enki was originally the patron god of the city of Eridu, but later the influence of his cult spread throughout Mesopotamia and to the Canaanites. the Hittites, and the Hurrians. He was associated with the southern band of constellations called Stars of EA. Again, EA Sports. It's in the game. Um, the constellation ASIKU, Isiku, the field or the square of Pegasus. Beginning around the second millennium BCE, he was sometimes referred to in writing by the numeric ideogram for the number 40. Now, I am 40, okay? 40 years in the wilderness. What exactly is this wilderness? The wilderness is described as peoples in the scriptures. Also, a location, specific locations where a certain type of people will be at a specific time. I am your gang star teacher. Your gang star teacher, okay? Gang starism 101. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button coming in. So he was known as the number 40. Occasionally referred to as his sacred number. If we take the 0 off of the number 40, that gives us the number 4, which would be the number for emperor or ruler, a male ruler, okay? The planet Mercury, associated with Babylonian Nabu, the son of Marduk, was in Sumerian times identified with Enki, as was the star Canopus. Something about canopies. Many myths about Enki have been collected from various sites stretching from southern Iraq, Chirac, Iraq, you be the judge, to the Levantine coast. He is mentioned in the earliest extant cuneiform inscriptions throughout the region and was prominent from the 3rd millennium down to the Hellenistic period. The names Enki and EA. The meaning of the names Enki and EA is uncertain. It is presumed that they were originally separate deities, though it is unclear when they were fully equated with each other. Alfonso Archie argues that syncretism between them likely already existed at least from the mid 3rd millennium BCE in parts of Babylonia. Babylonia, baby London, London. The land of Dan. Study your scriptures, people. Study your texts, your history, all of them, and then decipher them. Samuel L. Jackson, Low Jackson, Low Action. What's your name is? So you from Babylon, New York. Is that an actual location? Or do you just consider the land Babylon? Because I know a lot of these names are here. We have Lebanon. All the names in the scriptures are on a lot of different locations right here. In Illinois, there was a place close to 95th Street called Little London. There's a reason why I had to see that when I went back this last time. So that's an actual location. Awesome. I'm definitely going to look into that. Yes, you see how the synchronicities, it all makes sense. New York, Or is it Uruk? Huh? The land of Ur of the Chaldees, these nuts. Okay, so um, Enki is usually translated as the Lord of the Earth in Sumerian. This explanation is not universally accepted. Several scholars argue that it does not seemingly fit the functions of the god. This is why I say be mindful of the god that you claim to worship. What are the characteristics of this god that you claim to serve or worship, revere? Are we just taking over stuff? Are we just taking people out because we want their stuff? We want their resources. We want their land. Is that what your God is about? Is your God a booty bandit? Hmm? Are you out here preaching for booty? Booty. Be mindful of who you're following, who you associate yourself with. Sisters out here preaching for booty too, because they want sister wives. They want the resources that come with having multiple women and children in the household. They want the resources too. Sisters don't get a pass neither. Okay, I'm not here to bash my brothers. I love my righteous brothers and my righteous sister, but the demons, you miscreants, gonna have to get up out the camp. Okay, has been a breach in the kingdom. Breach. Y'all hear that bird? Repeat after me. Breach. You say it again. Okay, so it has been proposed that Enki could have been an epithet of the deity that eventually replaced his original name. Samuel Noah Kramer argued that the epithet Lord of the Earth was given to the god by the theologians of Eridu in order to elevate his position in the pantheon and make him a rival of Enlil. Keep up now. However, Thorkild Jacobson points out that there is no conclusive evidence of a rivalry between Enki and Enlil in Sumerian texts. Jacobson interpreted Enki as a personification of the power of sweet waters. Now I always reference things back to the Bible since this is what my people are familiar with, understand. So go look up sweet waters in the scripture to understand what where sweet waters come from, where bitter waters come from. What makes the water bitter? What makes the land barren, unfruitful? So he explained his name, Lord, meaning a productive manager of the earth, as a reflection of the role of water in the fertilizing of the earth. For my brothers who want to be the woman, who want to be the bearer of the seed, the one who produces the seed, you are fertilizer. You my seed, I spray you with the germinator. Okay? Talk slick, I'ma have to terminate you. Let's understand. Okay? Understand how things work. We do not just make things up as we go. We are to tell the truth, the entire truth. So help us God. All right. So, as the water fertilizes the earth, He proposed that Enki's original name was Absu, later regarded as his under earth sweet water domain and living space. And that always brings me back to a dream that I had as a child where I went into the water, a big body of water, fell in, I guess I was on a boat or something, fell in the water, but went into a cave underwater where I could stand up and breathe just fine. And I never forgot that dream. As many dreams I have now that I can't remember, that dream I never forgot. But anyway, so, according to Peter Especk, there is no conclusive proof that Enki was regarded as a water god in the available sources of the Old Sumerian period. Despite the similarity between their names, Enki of Eridu and the primordial god Enki were separate figures. Jacobson proposed that their names had slightly different meanings, and he translated the name of the primordial god as Lord Earth. Not of the earth, but Lord Earth. So a feminine and a masculine aspect of Earth. The forms of their names in the Emisil dialect are different. The name of Enki of Eridu is written Amanki. Looks like a monkey. While the name of the primordial god is written monkeys. Something about Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z. So Edmund Solberg and Wilfred G. Lambert have proposed a different translation for the name of Enki of Eridu. It has been remarked that an omissable G appears at the end of the second element of his name, which does not appear in the name of the primordial god. For this reason, they interpret this second element not as ki or kai, ki meaning earth, but as kai g. The key is G, K-I G, cross the K-I out, and it's a G of unknown meaning. So this is how you change people's names and change the power in the invocation of that name. So like scripture said that certain people cannot utter the name of God. You already know GD's in the dough. Big guy gang. Gang stars. We are gangs of stars from afar. So when you change the name of a god, you know, certain people can't pronounce, it's just the language is different. Like the Tower of Babel, God changed their languages. Certain tribes are unable to speak like certain other tribes, just like the Ephraimites, because of their admixture, you know, it changed their speech. So when they come through, you come through the city, we gonna need you to say something. I'm gonna need you to speak up. I'm gonna need you to talk so I can hear where you from. Come to my city, you gotta check in. The gates. That's why we keep gates. See, the enemy wants you to be open to any and every energy. You can't be what is it, racist, or you, it's really not even about being racist. It's just not being around people that you can't relate to. That can be family. You can't get in my club. You don't think like me. You don't live like me. We can't be around each other like that. Yeah, I can come visit. But to actually live with people that you can't relate to is just going to cause problems in your life sooner or later, or later than sooner. Sometimes it take a while. Then you find yourself deep in deep shit and can't get out of it as quickly as you'd like. So just be mindful of the people that you associate yourself with. Y'all hit that like button coming in. We're talking about Enki and the EA, the Anunnaki. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? So back to Diddy and him calling himself Love. So it says that his name meant favor, benevolence, or love in Sumerian. So these people are using these things and trying to reenact in art, through music, through videos, trying to reenact these deities' energies. But just like Indiana Jones, when you are unable to embody all of that knowledge and wisdom, it totally blows your brain. Okay? You blow a gasket trying to get into something that you don't belong into. They did all of that digging and digging up the people's bones and going into graves just to end up going mad. That's what they do. They go mad. See, there's a sickness and madness where people can't come up out of it, but there's also a righteous madness where you literally is like, I can't take this. What's going on? Something's not right. And you literally just start flipping your shit, like, because this ain't it. And I'm not going to deal with it no more. So everybody will get to wondering, like, what's wrong with you? Like, nah, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all is crazy. You got to get away. So Lord Love was a name for Enki, or Lord Benevolence. And I think he named his daughter Love, if I'm not mistaken. I think his baby girl's name is Love or something like that. Okay, so he argues that this translation reflects Enki's well-attested role in the myths as a friend of mankind. And we know what, I believe it was Moses who was called a friend of God in the scriptures. So, however, this explanation is not generally accepted. It has been remarked that it is possible that the omissible G developed via dissimilation through similar examples of dissimilation so far not attested in Sumerian. So the name EA or EI, like EA Sports, it's in the game. Sabbath peace to my Hebrews, okay? Shabbat shalom to those that keep the Saturday Sabbath. Okay? So EA or EI, the name EA first appears in personal names from the old Akkadian period. Earlier translations interpreting EA as a Sumerian name meaning house of water or house of the moon. If you know anything about the moon, you know that the moon controls the waves, motion, emotion, Luna, lunar. What else? Lunatic. Okay. Loony. The wolf. Native American totem. Cheryl, darling, how are you? Yes, I am having a wonderful day. It's still pretty warm out. 64 is great weather for me. I like it. Between 64 and 74. Yeah. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful day. So again, house of the moon or house of water, moon station are regarded as implausible by modern scholarship. In a few modern publications, the interpretation house of water is sometimes presented as a scribal popular etymology. Now, I have an affinity for water, of course. I am a Pisces, okay? So, of course, fish need water. I am also a Aquarius cusper. So, fish, water, the fish have to come up for air, right? So, Bubbles, which was my cat's name. All right, and I am born of two air signs, Aquarius and Libra. So on the water, ride the wave with the scales or the cup. We come with the chalice, which is the Holy Grail. Who sang that song? Jay-Z. Silly mother lovers, Holy Grail. See, they created these devices for you so that they could find you more easily. We didn't have these devices attached to us, what, 20, 25 years ago. Now, we're posting where we at, where we're going, what we're doing, when we're doing it, how we're doing it. Is anything held sacred anymore? So, however, according to Lambert, there is no evidence for such a reinterpretation. So, this house of water, communication, the flow of speech, invocation, the ability to bring forth utterance, to create. Due to the fact that the name appears associated with Semitic elements in the sources of the Old Akkadian period, it has been suggested that EA is most likely a Semitic name. It has been proposed that the etymology of the name is connected to the Semitic root HYY, to live. To live. My name is Shaya, Chaya, which means life, to live. This explanation has not been proved with certainty, though it is considered plausible. Miguel Civil proposed that the name of the god Haya, Haya, was originally an alternative spelling for EA. Margaret W. Green proposed that the names EA and Haya were both derived from the name of a pre-Sumerian deity that was integrated into the pantheons of the Sumerians and of the Semitic peoples, and that Haya persisted as a separate deity after Ea was syncretized with Enki. The hypothesis of a connection between the names of Ea and Haya is considered to be credible, but it is not proved and it is not accepted by all scholars. Now, someone else gave me my Hebrew name. I didn't give myself the name Shia. Someone else gave me that name. So somebody else gave me another name, but that name didn't quite sit well with me. But Shia, even before I looked it up, I liked the name when I heard it. So, cool. You know, even the scripture tells you to let someone else uplift your name, okay? So, because if you're great, you're going to be great. You don't have to say you're great. The people going to let you know if you're great or not. I don't have to come out saying, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, I'm the greatest. Okay? Because my light speaks for itself. My aura speaks for itself. No need. I'm hyped all day. No need to let you know, oh, I'm from heaven. Yes, you know where I come from. My energy lets you know where I come from. So, Haya, make sure you go look that up. Haya. Don't just listen to me. Do your research. So, alternative names and epithets for Enki. Nudimud. I'm mud is what it looks like. It's Nudimud. If you know about Memphis, there is a place in Memphis called Mud Island. Thank you, Dre. Yes, make sure you guys hit that like button. Mud Island, okay? So when they say I got it out the mud, just pay attention now. We know after a flood, what is there going to be? Mud. Plenty of mud. What happens to you when you step in mud, deep mud? You're damn near not getting out of it. It's like a suction cup. Kind of like quicksand. You get sucked in there, it'll suck your whole shoe off. So, Nudimud, one of the most frequently attested alternative names and epithets of Enki or Ea, was almost exclusively used in literary text. In Akkadian sources, it could also appear in royal inscriptions, prayers, and incantations. It already appears in the Zaim hymns under the form De Nutamud. The standard writing was Nudimud. Earlier spellings include Nutemenud from the Farrar period, or Nudamud from the 3 period. The verbal elements dim and mud in the standard orthography respectively mean to build, create, and to bring forth. The god list and equals Amun. Amun Sa Ameli explains Nudimud as Ea in his aspect as the god of creation. Hey, Chris, darling. So, the god of creation. Thorkild Jacobson interpreted the name as image fashioner, god of shaping, reflecting Ea's role as the god of crafts and as the god who creates figures from clay. What is clay? Where does clay come from? What color is this clay? The meaning of Nudimmud in the older periods is unclear. Antoine Kavanagh and Manfred Krebernerk remarked that the standard orthography with dim in its translation likely reflects a later etymological interpretation of the name. So remember, names have power, words have power. Thank you, darling. Lolo. Nadbu, meaning source or spring. Mind you, my great great grandfather's last name was Springer. Bro, get off my page. Um, so Source or Spring was an alternative name of Enki or EA, which reflected his role as the Lord of the Springs and subterranean water. So again, with this underground water. Underground water. What does water underground do to the ground that's on top of it? We lived in a what you call it? What do you call that thing? The dugout. We lived in there off the creek. So spirit likes to show you things, you know, in the way of how things work. So the way of the water, like Avatar. Um, you have to understand, like I said, the moon, the times of the moon, the times of the waves, the rainy season. It's a reason why certain things happen at certain times. We moved in around the rain season, so we got flooded out because the water rises during this time. This is the thing that was going on the Nile, okay, in Egypt. So the subterranean waters. And remember, Egyptians had a thing with the underground as well as the Native Americans, underground, the underworld, and the whole death rebirth thing. So just keep that in mind with the subterranean or the underground waters. So in this aspect, he was not only connected to irrigation. Now, irrigation brings me back to Chicago. There is a street called Canal Street. Hi, Ronald. There's a street called Canal Street. Now, we know in the so-called Israel, they had the Suez Canal. So they create these irrigation systems, you know, to divert water from this place to that place. A lot of these places where they've diverted the water to are barren lands that don't get water. The land is infertile. So they have to steal water. I forgot what movie that was, but the man, it's not an old movie. I think Keke Palmer was in it, if I'm not mistaken. Or a girl that looked like her. But the man was supposed to be from Mars. I think the man was from the movie 12 Years a Slave. And he kept saying how he needed water. And he, when they gave him the water, he would just drink. So it's something to that. When you read about cursed peoples and cursed places, it's a reason for that. It's a reason why we didn't cross certain lands. Yeah, that was a good movie. And when you start thinking about stuff like that, even in a a more subtle sense, they're putting us into slavery type positions without us even really knowing it, thinking that this is just the way to live. This is what everybody does, so I'm supposed to do it too. So think about the people, the agents that they send to you to try to slow you down on your path, stop you from going where you're supposed to get to. It's like checkpoints. You know that you got somewhere to be. Now you like the little rabbit on Alice in Wonderland. I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. Because you let somebody enter your bubble, and now they slowing you down with their own stuff. You got your own thing to do. If you can't come together and shine together, then it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. What happens to you when you drop your ball? Come Judgment Day, and you facing the Most High, the gods of the pantheon. We gave you a job to do. I know you've seen the messages. I know you've seen the signs. We put them all in your face. Dropped them in your dreams. Literally dropped it right on the floor in front of you at the stove. What? You didn't see it, huh? Because, that woman said y'all needed to go on vacation, huh? She said y'all needed a new car, new house. She needs you to work, sir. You need to work. All that spiritual stuff is for the bird, sister. I'm going to need you to get in that kitchen, Martha. Martha, we need food for the game, Martha. I'm Mary, not Martha. I'm riding out with the bro now, okay? They stayed mad at Mary in the scriptures. Damn. I always think she can go on us. She ain't no man. What you gonna do about it, brother? Then the sisters over there. She need to be over here in the kitchen with us. She need to be over somewhere cooking. Cutting up some meat or something. Clean these fish. No, I don't do that. You play with them guts, ma'am. I don't want to play with that flesh. You do it, Martha. I'm Mary. Remember that. All right, y'all. So, the irrigation, the god of irrigation, god of water, house of water, fertilization. So, if your people are known to be fertile, and you have another people that are known to be barren, what you think them barren people gonna want to do to you? It's magical over there. They got fruits for forever. As far as the eye can see. Everybody's happy. They having babies. The animals happy. Let's go eat them. Eat them. They done raped, robbed, and murdered all the tribes. It's not okay. It's not okay. Killed 1 million Indians and made a holiday. It's not okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. So, Nagbu is attested chiefly in sources from Babylonia and in the Neo-Babylonian period. The name often appears in incantation texts It was written with the logogram IDIM. That sounds like I dim, like I dim your light. What tribes do we have today? There are many of tribes, darling. There are many, many different tribes. Now, I am from the tribes Judah and Levi. The king priest or queen priestess. But it's 13 from where I reside. I embody all 13. I am the cosmos, the Christos, the cross. I am the crossroad. Hail Mary. I remember watching this movie where everybody was online, on their phones, and then you just start seeing people die while they live streaming. Everybody just dying. I twirl all my haters. Twirl all my haters. Ride no alligators. Be mindful, darling. Coming in here, this is a sacred space. Do not put your head on the chopping block. Do not cross the gun line, darling. The spiritual gun line. Thug life, you see my bros in here, right? Huh? Oh, gang is on deck. Spiritual gang, all right? Understand that this is a sacred space and my brothers don't play about me. All right? You want that hoe over there, then you go over there. Okay? We don't do that here. Get your mind right. Go pray or something. Go fast or something. Get off that meat or something. Do something with your life, honey. You say, do the tribes wear uniform? Well, the fringes and all white fringes, a border of blue, or the brown, That's right. Daddy don't play about me, neither do my mother. The gods. We are gods. The scriptures tell you that. Let these people tell you you are nobody or nothing. You ain't got no magic. We are magic. Our existence is magic. We don't gotta be out here cutting ourselves and pouring our blood in the prick your fingers and putting blood on this and that. We ain't gotta do all that, baby. Your existence is magical. Yes, and when I started wearing white, that's when they started attacking. Oh, you think you holy, huh? You think you holy, huh? Mondarius, how you doing, darling? See, people will come at you from every which way. It don't matter who it is. Family, friend, spouse, kids, anybody. Start waking up to what's going on. Come out the matrix. Speak some truth. Mellow, I'm going to need you to come in and get high. Huh? This the place to be if you depressed and stressed, darling. We sending big hearts. Y'all put some hearts in the chat for Mellow, Milo. It's all love, beloved. Hope you feel better. Go get you some fruit. Eat you some fruit. Burn you some incense or something. Something you like to smell. Huh? Aromatherapy. Do you a little workout. Go walk down the street. Go get in nature. You see where I'm at? In nature. Go hug a tree, beloved. It's all good in the hood. It's all love over here. Big hearts, Mello. Sending love your way. You need it, we got it. Okay, so back to EA. We're talking about the god of water, the god of earth, the male aspect of earth. We always talk about the mother earth, but there is a marriage between the two. It's always two. Big hugs, big hugs. No, we used to hug ourselves. Turn around and go like this. Hugging yourself in the corner. All right, so Amun or Anum is associated with EA, the name Nagbu, Nag Hammadi, Nisiku or Nisaiku was another alternate name and epithet of Enki or EA of an uncertain meaning. Like I said with Christ, you're welcome, love. So, with the name of Jesus comes in many different variations. So one person would be like, oh, that's not the name, that's not the name, that's not the name. Stumbling blocks. We have different dialects, different languages. So just like I'm from Chicago, my people's from down south, we speak differently. I call it a peanut. They say peanut with a P on it. Grandma put R's on everything. My name is Crystal. She called me Krister. So, okay. Like they told the Ephraimites coming through the land, say Shibboleth. And they couldn't say the H. Couldn't get it out. I seen somebody talking about people with a list. This funny Hispanic guy. He a goofy. Talking about the doctors getting the kick out of telling people with a list to say something with an S in it. Just petty. But yeah, so different dialects, names change, phrases change, gods change. But in all actuality, it's really talking about the same thing. Same person, energy. Get on out of here now. So, Nisiku, from the Old Babylonian period, William Lambert and Alan Miller proposed that the name, again from the Semitic element Nasiku, meaning chieftain, reflecting Enki's Sumerian epithet Nun, now, or Nun, N-U-N. If you know the scriptures, you know that Joshua was described as the son of Nun. Y'all keep up now. Prince or leader. Hans D. Galter considers that a connection between an old Babylonian expression and a loan word from Aramaic is implausible. Ninsiku is likely a later folk etymology from Sumerian. It is attested from the Middle Babylonian period and onwards. One god list explains Ninsiku as Ea in his aspect as god of wisdom. So we come back to Solomon. He would have been considered a god of wisdom, right? The kings were the gods. They were god kings. Which is why they wanted to have children with certain women, because you need a certain type of woman to make a king. Real men are born in Sparta. So this DIS, the logogram, designates Enki in Assyrian text. I don't know why every time I see this, I hear the song this that let me see you. I don't know. That's what it looked like. It's DIS. And y'all know how we take words and switch them up, the slang. So in Neo-Assyrian sources, it chiefly appears in royal inscriptions and incantation literature. It is sometimes attested as a theophoric element in personal names of the first millennium. So, like when people say people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, who are the Joneses? Who are the Joneses? Where does the name Jones originate? What is the etymology? What does it mean? So, in Neo-Babylonian Uruk, New York, New Know y'all know the football player Lacker, the land of So all these different places, they've changed up the maps, told you you're here, you're from there. But remember, your enemy said that they would put your name out of remembrance. They took your names and they rearranged them, the gematria, switch it up, flip the letters, make this letter that letter. You remember those old puzzles we used to do as kids where you put the letter for the number and change it up? Now, yes, welcome to school. Welcome to school. And so we have the alphabet, your ABCs. Then you have the Greek alphabet, different meanings, looks different, but they can be associated back to these letters and numbers. Then you have your Hebrew or your Aramaic. Okay. Samuel, darling, how did you get so smart? Yes, the son of John. Now, can you tell me what John means? What does John mean? We like to break down everything into its lowest terms. Everything means something. If it's knowledge what you want, then it will be well earned. The mothership can't save you, so your ass is gonna get left. If we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. You know, in the book of Revelations, they say there was an angel that had to open up the book. Who was worthy to open up that book? Read them the law, then read them they rights before the final judgment. Last call for alcohol. Ja Rule, huh? Ja Son, huh? Freddy versus Jason? So, Neo-Babylonian Uric designates Anu instead of Enki. So I just want y'all to see how these names change from language to language and place to place. So make sure you're doing your research. Sam says hermit. Is that what John means? Hermit? I was born on Hermitage, the street. So the reading of dis in Akkadian is unknown. Galter suggests that dis was possibly a numeral symbolizing the number 60. So we have the number 40, then we have the number 60. You got 73 in there. Also, I grew up on 73rd Street. 7337, God body 1010. Okay, like 10 Nasi. Names hold weight, and so do places. Remember that. The number 60 breaks down to the number 6. 6, 3, 9, Tesla. Yes, very merciful. Long suffering. So the number 60, 1444 on the timer. I already know. 144,144 breaks down to the 9. The 9. Nina. Nin. Noon. Telling my Nina she a rider. I got a shooter and I got a driver. They want the heat, I'm the only provider. Pull up on the op, do we have a problem? Do we have a problem? Now see, you have to ask yourself the question, with all of this technology and what it does to the land, the sun, the weather, the air, Why we have so much cold weather in this Mediterranean coast. You see, they can switch it up and tell you that, oh, it's always been this cold here and no. No. When you remove the trees, you said you wrote some books last week. Well, you need to I gotta check you out. You gotta are you on YouTube? What are you doing with your books? I got audio books. I'll read your books too. You can send it to me. You want me to read it? Read it right here on the page. That's what I'm here for. This is the Spiritual Ascension Center. If you got some spiritual stuff, then I would definitely read it for you. And that goes for anybody else. Or if any topic, any spiritual topic that you would like to learn more about, you don't have time to read it for yourself, I will definitely read it for you. If you want, I can put it in video form so you don't have any interruptions like on the live stream. We're just learning together, okay? So just let me know. This is what we're here for. Each one teach one. You teach me, I teach you. We learn together. It's all love. So, tens, 40, 60. Supreme God numbers. Other names of Enki or EA. The different names describe the different characteristics or the different functions that this God carries with them. In everywhere that I go, you're gonna know, oh, that was Shia, because you could see my characteristics. You know how she dresses, you know how she talks, you know where she be at, it's like gangster. You know she ain't gonna be over there because that ain't her territory. That's not her turf. You ain't gonna catch her over there. So Abzu and his cult center, Eridu, that's another name, Abzu, which is a bird. So, which goes back into Egypt with the whole Horus, Isis, Osiris thing. John is Jones and seeking competitiveness, keeping up with the Joneses, the seeking of inner wisdom. Now that's deep. I don't think I've even read that definition. Is that the actual definition? That's crazy. Well, it makes sense. It makes much sense. Like I said, Indiana Jones, the Crystal Skull. Your brain gonna overload if you can't handle laws we give. Okay? It's gonna overload. Man down. Mad time. You're gonna be in Maddenville. You wanna go crazy? Mess with the chosen ones. You wanna go crazy? Blaspheme wisdom. Wisdom is the beginning and the end, which is no end, really, because it's all a circle, darling. Pi 3.14. Forever and ever and ever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. Nine, the transformation. Yeah, I'm 1 and 9. 19 keys. 19 keys, which is 10. Always goes back to the 1, of course. Infinite wisdom. It's always infinite. I am Pi of the seas, the circle of life. Shia, meaning life. February, sign of Pisces. I kick it off. I am the beginning. I am the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. Big 144. 555. Actually, we got 10-4. It's my auntie. No switching sides. Okay. Then 1022, 1022. My mama and my son. That's 10-4, 10-4, 10-4. 555. And that is, my dear, abundance, protocol, and justice. Oh, that's what I am, baby. I am the law. I come to read the law. They don't want the books of the law opened. They would rather continue in their foolishness. Time is of the essence. So, the Anunnaki, Anu, Enoch, E. My mom and aunt's middle names are both Ann. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Bloodline, final destination. Get to your station. Know y'all feel the energy in the air. I know you feel it. I know you feel it. I can feel it calling in the air tonight. Hold on. I can feel it getting stronger. I don't know the words. Hold on. Hold on. How y'all feeling today? How's everybody feeling? Y'all know about the pineapple head people? Pineapple head people. I ain't got my pineapple on top today, but if you know, you know. Yeah, send me those law books, darling. I love it. Libras are my peoples. I am the fish with the scales. Come wear your heart in my hand, darling. Come and wear your heart, darling, against this feather. Are you selfish or selfless? The love of many has waxed cold in this time. Araman, yes. The Araman. In the ocean. High seas in the ocean. So my seas are in the ocean, or I can see in the ocean. Because I am a fish, I can see underwater. Now, where exactly are the waters? We have waters above, we have waters below. There is water within the water. Oh, somebody stop me. Somebody stop me. I am the water. I am all of the elements. What I say? These elements on my side, so that mean that your ass on fire and wet at the same time. Hey, that fire water. We don't want that fire water. People act like they don't believe in hell, but they believe in lava. You believe in lava? You believe in earthquakes, tornadoes? You believe in that? I don't need you to believe in the lake, but when you see that lava coming up out of the mountain, then you gonna know that it was the lake of fire. That's the lake of fire. Lava. Okay? Lava. Good afternoon, Jen T. This is class. Are you coming in here for a class or are you coming in here to ask personal business? Huh? 3333. I've been seeing 3s, 6s, and 9s. I went to the store yesterday. I got the string for the to hang the wood. Total came out to 369. I'm on fire right now, yeah. Lightning striking with the words that I speak out of my mouth. Understand? Too hot to handle. Got that fire shut up in my bones and it won't leave me alone. People. Worry about your own households, okay? Worry about your own household, all right? Mind your manners and mind your business. Go read some scriptures or something and learn what to say about a man and his woman. Ain't none of your business, okay? Whether we reconcile or not is not your business, darlings. Same people talking about go back is the same type of people that beat on they wives and husbands and want to, no. Just mind your business. No. Straight millions. He know he my son. That's why he said it when I came. He said, "Are you my mommy?" He know who he is. That's right, baby. He want to work for his mama. Let him work. See? But he let his little friends get in his head. Now you don't want to work for mama. Oh, first is I want to do everything for you. I'm gonna kiss your feet, worship the ground you walk on. Soon as your men's and them come over there, oh, it's the He-Man Woman Haters Club. You gonna go get him? Go ahead. Come on, Cletus. Come on. Come on. You know you ain't love me. You can't help it. Can't help it. You fight against it. It's like fighting life. You're gonna die trying to go against me. Trust me. Trust me. It's all love. He know it's all love too. He know. You don't think he know? Rick Fuentes? No, I don't. What? Listen here. You about to go to the principal's office. Is what you about to do. Who is that? Yeah, Janice. You about to go to the principal's office. And I really don't like your name because that was my stepmama name. And she had whooped me with an extension cord when I was little. And I remembered that. And I ain't like that. So. Nah, I'm just playing, Janice. I ain't got no hard feelings for my stepmama. Rest in peace, Miss Janice. But yeah. So this is still on the topic of, we're going back to Azazel. Woo! Look, told y'all that the law gang is in the building. I ride with lawyers. This is what it is. I ride with the law. Anybody coming in my energy claiming to be of God must abide by natural law, not the laws of men or women, the natural law of the earth, heaven and earth, of the elements. You do not abide by the natural law, you will cease to exist. You will cease to exist, because when you reject the mother, you reject your breath. It's like staying in the womb. I don't want to come out. I'm not coming out. You say, I'm going ahead and tie the umbilical cord around my own neck. Getting out of here. I ain't coming out. You must come in at the door. There is no going around back. You must come through the matrix. Y'all want to make jelly babies? We gonna put you on your own planet. And don't try to come over here when them babies come out like jellyfish. Because that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted. You wanted to go against nature, so you get in nature. I made that up. It's not nature. It's not nature. No nature. Unnature. So, we got Neo in here. Sam. Neo in the building. And it's funny, I looked at my jacket earlier and the tag had Neo on it. And now you in here with the ones and zeros. Okay, spirit. Okay. 23, 23, 66. I've been seeing 6667. My Bluetooth address had 6667 at the end of it. I'm like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. So, y'all know those numbers and what they have to do with the satanic church. Anton LaVey and them, the Mansfield, his wife, whose last name was Mansfield, they had a thing with 66/67, which just so happens to be the years my mother and my aunt were born. 66 and 67, which would also be 12 and 13. 1213 is Los Angeles area code, or 312 backwards, Chicago inverse. The Omen, the movie headquarters was in Chicago. New Pope, Pope Leo from Chicago. Judah, the king, the priest. I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Do you see what I see? Do you know what I know? Oh, here we go. Let's get into it. Now, this one says the majority of Akkadian epithets of EA reflect his role as the god of wisdom. Such epithets include, for example, Baal Nimiki, Lord of Wisdom, or Baal Tasimti, Lord of Understanding, and Apkal Ili, and I keep seeing this word Ili like Illinois, or like who is that? Lil Wayne, a milli, a milli, a milli, a milli. So this says the sage of the gods, Baal Nagbi, lord of the subterranean waters, as some water just dropped on my lip out the tree, was frequently attested epithet of Ea in his aspect as the water god. He could be referred to as Baal Tennesseeti. That looks like Tennessee. Let me turn that. Do y'all see that word? Tennesseeti. Tennessee. Coincidence or no? Now, definitely gematria, darling. Always numbers and letters and letters and numbers. Coding is what we do. We're coders. Code and decode and recode. Tennessee, meaning Lord of Mankind. Now, again, as I stated yesterday, the name of the public transportation system is MATA, like matter. Reverse the letters, it is atom. Change the O into an A. Okay? Change the T into a D. Matter, mudder, mud. Corona is the crown. It is a crown virus. That was a cosmic virus. The Libra, sign of Libra, the symbol is the crown, corona. Now, gun one, the books. Now, you have to understand that there were many that had their hands in these books, in these indoctrinations. Your own ancestors sold you out. Understand? In-house jobs. You always talk about the other people, but you never talk about the sword of judgment comes to the house first. Understand? Judgment comes on your own people first before anybody else. You can say they put the finishing touches on it, but it's because your people allowed it. They opened the gate because they wanted shiny things from these people. They wanted the gifts. You ever watched Hansel and Gretel? Ghetto, something about the ghetto. Hansel and Gretel in the ghetto, huh? But the story was to beware of gifts. What have they given us? What have they taken from our land? Wanting to be in the presence of royalty or abundance in a sense of materialism. We give up our freedom for things. We manifest what it is that we want. So if you're constantly, we can't keep blaming stuff on other people. The thing is, we were never slaves. You let a book enslave you. You let writings and spells, incantations and invocations enslave you. Your own parents can be your slavers. You can be a slave in your own house. Your husband, your wife, even your children making you miserable. Trying to help them, cleaning up every day after them. They don't give a damn. Drop it on the floor, and everywhere. It's still a form of slavery. Yeah, the upside down world is what I keep hearing. Upside down world, like Stranger Things. So, like the movie Sinners, okay? You got to let them in. We don't die, we multiply, is the saying. Is it incarnation, reincarnation? Are there some who's never tasted death? You say the Israelites were a melanated religion later adopted by the white man, if I read right. Right. They take over the land, they take over the people, they take over the teachings, especially if it was something good. True, you got plenty of brothers who fake smile with you all the time. Even the scriptures tell you that. Trust not a brother in the book of Jeremiah. So you got to prove every friend. It's not just about race. You got to prove everybody. I've had more enemies in the camp than outsiders. The beast is my neighbor. Oh yes, that's the gematria, and I got it. I didn't went over it over and over again, but like I said, they done stole my notebooks and cause see, I'm a scribe. I can't remember a whole lot of stuff, so I write it down. And they've made sure that I've lost my library. I write so much. Like I've had stacks of notes everywhere I go. Leave notebooks at my mama's house, at my auntie house, grandma's house, but stuff always getting destroyed. These last 7 years, I've had so many of my notes and stuff destroyed. Yeah, that's the we call that the noise campaign. When people just kind, and that's what was going on in my apartment in Atlanta. It was just all kind of crazy stuff, just all kind of noise, just distractions, just crazy. That's what I'm saying. Gun when you sure you gotta prove everybody, even your mama and daddy sometimes, because everybody don't want to see you grow. Everybody don't want to see you elevate, rise up into the person that they already knew you was gonna be. That's right. Be careful who you listen to. These vampire from Brooklyn types. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Evil is good. Right in the where they at? Pulling you into the pit on the stage, pulling you into the pit. The pool pit. I don't even like the way that shit sound. Pool pit. Highway to hell. So again, the Bell Tennessetti. Self-made slaves, exactly. And then it's the They Live. If you've seen the movie They Live, it's the self-made slaves that be in the background screaming. You know, when they open their mouth and it's just pointing at the people that's trying to get away. The ones that's woke. Baby, golden child, you acting real what's the word, brandished, tarnished. You're not giving golden right now. I'm where I am, darling. Okay. E, energy. A, intelligent manifestation. Like what is that, Aleister Crowley and the book of the law, he references this ASA, which are my children's initials. So it's just something real strange about, if you have to look into yourself. When things aren't going right around you, just look into yourself. Let me find out more about me. Talk to spirit. Get out in nature. Open your eyes, including this one. Okay? Open your eyes, open your ears, your senses, the sixth sense, Pisces sense. The Piscean energy is one of mystery, intuition, knowing. Samuel, darling, get out of my head, okay? Odin or Odan is who I am currently dealing with, darling. It's Odin. The tribe of Dan in scripture tells you where the Antichrist will come out of. You must know who you are in this life, or you risk becoming anything. Are you yourself, or are you a clone of someone else? Are you living in your true power? Are you living in your truth? Have you told your story to anyone? Does anybody really know you? Don't be a scapegoat. Don't let them take you out into the wilderness and toss you over the cliff. Okay. Don't be a cliffhanger, all right? So, this again is why you need to be careful when dealing with churches and cliques and covens and whatnot, because people are speaking over you. They are putting their energy onto you. They're praying over you. They're touching you. You don't know what these people got going on in their head, in their life. You don't want everybody touching on you or even speaking your name, invoking your name. Sometimes you need to leave people where they at. So, this Tennessee, his association to the arts of incantation was reflected in his epithets Masmas Ili, the exorcist of the gods, and Bel Isputi Putty, Lord of the purification rites. And that purification goes back into the female purification of blood and how they feel about the women and the menstrual cycle in scripture. It sounds like $1,000 over here. Getting chilly. Little arms. Right. The sinner is trying to put sins on the people, make you guilt trip you into telling them your sins so that they could use them against you. It's just like you could think of the church as the military. Rockefeller. Now, again, my birth name is Crystal, right? So that would be a rock, right? My first son's nickname, his dad's mother gave him was Fella. Hmm. Stone Magic, and it's always a rock quarry nearby. Javon is God Almighty, you tell me. What God is Almighty, darling? Which God? That's why you got to be careful with the church, because it's just like being in a relationship with a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? They need you to be hurt. They need you to need them. They need you to feel like you're in sin. You can't get out of it. I can't keep all these laws. There's too many of them. When in all actuality, most of those laws were created just for you to be able to not keep them. That's like praying with someone is good, but praying over someone is not okay. Exactly. You say suffering. Most of the time, it is our own selves that cause suffering. Rock, stone, feller, one who shapes. Yes, exactly. Back to Enki, the creator God. 144 on the timer. That's right. We them ones. Them ones. So, right. If you would have asked, I would have gave you living waters. Desmond. Thank you, darling. Yes, I am a soldier in the army of the Lord. I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. I'm a soldier in the army. They know. My auntie, my daddy's sister named Deborah. Just like Deborah of the Bible. Sitting up under that tree, had to lead the men into war. So where my brothers at? Where my brothers at? I brought the 12 with me. Now, if you understand archons and whatnot, if you understand the times that we're in, If you understand the matrix, understand there is a breach. There has been a breach. And the breach happened in house. So, therefore, the scales of justice are upon the people, are upon the land. Everything in divine timing. So, if you've cursed yourself, or you've ended up like Joseph in the house of the Pharaoh, sometimes you just got a job to do, and you can't let the distractions hinder you. It's really not that it's what my brother say, suffering. It's not necessarily that you're suffering. It's just like oh, that looks so nasty. That looks so nasty. Ew. Got the heebie jeebies. That's right. God is not docile. So even, oh guys, I found my phone. I found my other phone in the darn leaves. Found it. Walk around in these woods, losing everything. But yeah, so father wisdom. Like I said, my the brother of wisdom in I forget which mythology is Saint Germain. And Germain just so happens to be my uncle, the one that I look like, and the one who's always ride for me. That's the uncle I call. If I need something, that's the one I call. Saint Germain. And we relate the most. He's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus North Node. So that's all my uncles are my brothers. Anyway, we all around the same age. So said the exorcist of the gods. Why does God need an exorcism? EA could be referred to as EA or Ea Saru in some Akkadian texts. According to Galter, it is unclear whether it looks like Esau. That's what it looks like. It looks like Esaru. May 4th, that's 5-4, that's 9. 504 boys. Bless you, solar vibes. 504 boys. I just seen I keep seeing Master P. Something about Master P. I don't know. He popped up on a reel last night. It was what was it for? It was a commercial. Tell Uncle got a new nephew. That's right, Source Gang. We stay on Big BS. You already know, Chi-Town, where it all went down. Big bullies. But we ain't no boule, okay? We ain't no booty boule. So, you know, the enemy likes to mimic. If any of you are familiar with Pokemon, the Mimic You card, the little ghost Pikachu. You are like my ghost, my shadow. You want to be me, but you cannot stand in my light. You know what happens when you meet God and you are not worthy? You die on the inside. You die. We're going to have to pull you out by a string. Y'all grab that rope. He's done for. Pull him on out of there. Pull him on out of there. He came incorrect. Incorrect. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. So, Isaru. Isaru was simply an epithet of Ea, or if a foreign deity was identified with Ea and Saru, meaning king, was added to distinguish them. He remarks that the earliest attestations of this name occur outside of Mesopotamia, which could indicate that the name did not originate in the region. A common epithet of Enki or Ea in literary texts was Enlil Banda, or the junior Enlil. Why would God have to test those that he knows or she knows cannot be tested or tempted? Is it really you being tempted, or is your enemy being tempted or tested? I'm like my father. I never change. People get mad at that when I say that, but I'm dead ass serious. What I need to change for? What am I doing wrong? No, what you want me to stop doing is speaking on what you doing wrong. But if you don't want me to speak on you, then remove yourself from my presence. Walking lie detector test is what I am. Walking mirror is what I am. I have opened my home to a total stranger multiple times. Sister for sisters, women and their children. Even the men you meet, these people, you don't know them. You know people for years and you still don't know them. I'm a servant before anything. God serves. Is that not true? Huh? God takes care of his or her people, right? Feed the people, right? Teach the people. I got people I done let in my house and they'll never admit to it because I had to cuss them out. They act like they wanted was on what I was on, and they was not. Came in another spirit, and I'm gonna check you at the door. No, like I said, I am the test. Everything that was done in my life was done for a reason. You heard the stories about the angels that come into the city, right? What did they want to do to the angels in the Bible that came to Sodom and Gomorrah? Be careful of the strangers that you entertain. So, the junior in Lil, if y'all know Ye, you know he loved calling uh, things junior. Dogs, don't matter. It's junior, junior. It's always junior something. So the junior in Lil, an early attestation of the epithet, dates to the old Babylonian period. Several possible interpretations of this name You say the test to undo your birth, darling. And there's Dre. Dre, you always coming with something. What did I say? Reject the mother, reject your breath. That is the breath of life. That is the breath of wisdom. The breath that breathes on the flame to build the fire within. So if I take away that air to your fire, your flame goes out. Right, prophets, propheters. What is with this the land of every opportunity to gain. It's always about gaining something. Like I said, be more ready to help. A lot of people want to help in order to, use that help against you. Don't help me if you're going to throw it in my face. Don't do anything for me if I got to hear about it every day, every other day. Anytime you get upset. Don't do things for people if it's not genuine. If you don't genuinely like to give and help people, then don't. Keep your money in your pocket. Keep your help to yourself. Don't go over there helping that lady move out her house if you're going to go talk about her. You going to take this sister or brother to the hospital, then you going and talking about them after you did it. Just leave people alone. If you don't like somebody, if they irritate your soul, just leave them alone. It's no point. Just go your own way. Let them go theirs. Let somebody else who really wants to help them help them. You can say no. Say no. Just say no. So these scholars say that EA was also regarded as a younger brother of Enlil. It could have been a way to equate EA with Enlil. It could have been a way to assert that he is like Enlil in his domain. Or it could mean that he received his functions and abode from Enlil. Enki's epithets, king of the Apsu and king of Eridu, are already attested in Sumerian sources from the early dynastic period. Ronald, what is your thoughts on a physical hell? What is your thoughts on purgatory or Hades? So Enki's epithets, Dara Apsu, translated as ibex or stag of the Apsu. The ibex was associated with Enki in historical times. An early attestation of this byname is found in an old Babylonian hymn. Several compound bynames of Enki or Ea formed with the element Dara appear in a later god list. If you don't have a test, isn't that passing the test? Like I said, I am the test. I don't let people tell me that I have a test to pass. I am the test. I am your test. Rester, you come into class ready to go to the bathroom. You know what? Don't make me call your mama. You come in here ready to disrupt. I ain't see. Futurist, like I said, you come to class, you came late, and you come in here being a clown. Let me get. We taking it back to the old days. We taking it back to the old days. I ain't even gonna call your mama. I ain't gonna call your mama. You come on up here and sit. Come on up here and sit next to my desk. I got something for you. Mm-hmm. Get out of hand today, Future. I've been seeing that name too. It's been spray painted. You know they do that. They be gang stalking too, with the signs, the all that little stuff. Future, this for you. Come in here with that junk now. Much love, Ron. Thank you for the apples, but I'm still on your tail. Still on your tail now. Coming here playing every day. Let's see. So, symbols and iconography. Enki, or EA, is considered one of the few Mesopotamian deities with a recognizable iconography. Oh. Oh, we don't leave bruises now. I'm going to take him by his feet, and I'm going to tap them feet at the bottom. Tap them feet. We don't need the peoples coming up here. Hey, don't y'all be beating on them kids now. Don't do it. I don't even whoop I don't whoop kids. Woo, put you in the corner with some books on your head. That's to scare you. That's to scare you. Matter of fact, go pick one out for yourself. And you better not bring back no little one. Don't bring me back no little one. Dara. So it says Dara Abzu. If you know Hebrew, and the months in Hebrew, the month of February is Adar. Switch up those letters. Dara. You ain't know you had high blood pressure. I am pressure. What Nikki say? I give them pressure. They salty. Somebody pass me the pepper. Woo. Let's see. So, in the few Mesopotamian deities, his most distinguishing features are water streams flowing from his body, often accompanied by fish swimming in the water. These features are first attested in the Old Akkadian period. Enki's iconography in the older periods is uncertain. It has been proposed that he is depicted on an early dynastic seal representing a sitting god with fish beneath his feet. Now, again, Pisces, two fish, just like Gemini, the twin symbolism. Okay, the duality. You could either get the fish going up the north node fish, or you can get my down south fish. Which one you want? So you can get my higher self, or you can get death. It is all spiritual, darling dear. It's all spiritual. There is not one without the other. The flesh is not just the flesh. The flesh is the spirit. The flesh is the living soul. You are a living spirit being. I don't separate. We are one. Future. I'm in the Delta. Okay? So if that's what he rolling up, that's what he rolling up. The Delta. Yes, darling, how do you connect? How is it that you disconnect? Do I know how to crip walk? Why y'all play so much? Look, I've been out of the dance scene for a while. I got to get my I got to get back with my peoples now, you know what I'm saying? Then we can crip walk. All right, we ain't doing no crip walking today though. I can river dance for you though. I can't river dance. Woo! But I gotta charge my phone up. We gonna get some. I'm gonna get some music next time, and I'm gonna river dance all on y'all next time. Okay? Gonna river dance the sun down. All right. So we connect by studying. You say, Ronald. How do we become disconnected? Now, if we didn't have books, how would we connect? It's a reason why they want us out of nature. How often do you spend time in nature? Not at a local park, not at their local uh, shrines and altars. That's right. You are the book. Say, open up that book. Open up your story. Tell us who you are so that we can know who we are. You know your tribe by how they act, right? Star, moon, flower. I am the flower of Lisa's. My grandmother's name is Flora, mother's name Lisa's, so I am the Flora de Lis, the flower of Lisa, or the Mona Lisa. Yes, yes, yes. I keep seeing something about Russia, that star, the the star dragging the moon or something like that. I be having a lot of stuff going on in my head. Something about the star or the moon being dragged by something. Maybe it's the boat, um, the Egyptian Osiris, something like that. I don't know. But yeah. So Inky with he is, what it say? He is the sitting god with fish beneath his feet, the water streams coming from his shoulders or his hips. Or he could be depicted sitting within his shrine or abode with the streams surrounding it in the shape of a rectangle. Additionally, he could often be depicted with water spouting vessels, carrying them either on his shoulders, in his hand, or above his head. Now, that kind of sounds like Atlas, right? With the world with on his back, we know that the world is mostly what? Water upon his shoulders. So his emblems, now here we go back to the goat, Azazel, or the two goats, the scapegoat ritual. His emblems include the goat fish and the ram headed staff. Now, most people don't see the Capricorn as a goat fish, but the Capricorn symbol is actually half goat, half fish. 1 foot on the land, 1 foot in the water. You're welcome, Ronald Love. Thank you for visiting. Thank y'all for the love. Josephine is someone else's grandmother's name as well. Joseph is does represent the sign of Pisces. They killed 1 million Indians and made a holiday. It's not okay. It's not okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Robbing, murdering my people, not okay. Killed 1 million Indians and made a holiday. It's not okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Now, I do go into all of these different festivals on my page in regards to the autumn, the fall season, what they do in different countries in regards to the different feasts that they have at different times and why. A lot of these feasts were created to eat people. Okay, it was human sacrifice that was going on, and they changed the humans to animals. So just keep that in mind. Story about the corn god. We're gonna go over that too. As far as the Osiris ritual. So if y'all want to read up on that before I read it on live, you can. So back to the goat. His emblems include the goat fish and the ram headed staff. They were often depicted together, for example, on kudurus. The kuduru of Nazi Marutaj refers to them as the great emblems of EA. The ram-headed staff is attested in art from the Old Babylonian period until the Achaemenid period. In Neo-Assyrian seals, EA is sometimes represented carrying a crook, which Jeremy Black and Anthony Green suggest may be a symbolic representation of the staff. And if you know about the Egyptian mythology or biblical history, Moses carried a staff and he put his staff against the staffs of the Pharaoh's magicians. Okay? We know why they pray to a black Madonna. We know why. So the goat fish is attested in Mesopotamian art from the Neo-Sumerian period until Hellenistic times, and it was later adopted into Roman art. It is at the origin of the zodiacal constellation Capricorn. EA could often be represented sitting or standing on it. While the goatfish's connection to EA is well attested, it could also be depicted as a general apotropaic figure, meaning like a charm, good or bad, not attached to any god. Clay figurines of goatfishes could be used in apotropaic whatever. Another symbol of EA was the turtle. We know that the U.S. was called originally Turtle Island. It was associated with him since the old Akkadian period. On Kudurus, it could be used as his symbol instead of the goatfish with the ram headed staff, or it could be represented on the back of the goatfish. EA was often depicted alongside his two faced vizier, Izmud. Izmud, I'm guessing, is January. Since the old Akkadian period, he could also be depicted alongside his Lamu servants, divinities represented as naked or kilted male figures with abundant facial hair and locks of hair on each side of their face. On cylinder seals, they could be represented as his doorkeepers holding a gate post, or in later periods, a spade. Another figure closely associated with EA in pictorial representations is the fishman, who has the upper body of a man and the lower body of a fish. It was depicted next to symbols of EA. It is attested in pictorial representations from the Neo Sumerian period up until Hellenistic times, and might have been the precursor of the merman in Greek and medieval European art and literature. Thank you, Chris, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In Akkadian period seals, EA was depicted in various scenes, some of which likely have a mythological background. A well known example is the seal of Ada or Ada. I My family currently lives around the street name called Ada, ADA. And again, we have Adar for February, which is ADAR. Ada, Ada, Adder is a serpent. Ada is your grandmother's name. Ada is also goes into the Eastern stars. I believe that is a point on the Eastern star thingy or whatnot. So there he is depicted with 1 foot on a mountain, with water streams coming out of his shoulders and fish swimming in them. An ibex or a bull is seated beneath his right foot. An eagle descends from above to the center of the scene. EA's two-faced vizier stands behind him. The god rising from the mountain is most often interpreted as Shamash, Shamash. In California, the Native American tribe Chumash. Same name, different pronunciation, slightly different spelling. You say she might be an Eastern star. She makes good pancakes, though. Oh, yes, they make great pancakes, don't they? Pancakes. Pan, the goat. Cakes for pan. In the panhandle. Yes, 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 darling. So we have Shamash and the armed goddess Ishtar. And that's where they get the Eastern star from. Ishtar. I will be writing a book. That was the thing when I started writing for a documentary called A Tale of Two Fish. This is before I even really got into all this. That was just the name of the documentary I was supposed to do. It was going to be based on DNA. But yeah, so I will be writing a book. Cherokee Nation? I'm Cherokee and Choctaw. Or is it Choctaw, like Ptah, the god of the Egyptian pantheon? Michael Jackson is also from the Choctaw tribe. And my son, my firstborn, his young, he looked like a young Michael Jackson when he was young. I got a picture of both of them side by side with the afro. Some bloodline stuff. Okay. Bloodline things. So the armed goddess Ishtar and Shamash. Another well attested example is a motive where a half man, half bird creature is presented before an enthroned EA by one or two gods, one of which is generally Isimud. Isimud looks like I see mud. Isimud. I see mud or Isimud. Various interpretations of these scenes have been proposed by scholars. Pierre Amiot proposed that the scene on the Ada or Ada cylinder may represent the revelation of the forces of nature in early spring. Kramer and Meyer proposed that the scene of the Birdman led before the god of streams could be derived from the Anzu myth, representing the return of the tablets of destinies to Enki after the defeat of the Anzu bird who had stolen them. As in the Sumerian version of the myth, he was their guardian, while in the Akkadian version, they were stolen from Enlil instead. However, since only a few difficult to understand myths are preserved from this period, the narrative behind the scenes remains uncertain. EA could also be depicted traveling on his boat. There's that boat, 222. According to one text, the name of the boat was Ibex of the Abzu. Enki's association with the ibex dates to the second half of the third millennium. The little owl. The little owl is called the bird of EA in the bird call text. Worship. The main temple to Enki was called E-Abzu, meaning Abzu temple. Also E-Ngura, meaning house of the subterranean waters. A ziggurat temple surrounded by Euphratean marshlands near the ancient Persian Gulf coastline of Eridu. Now, just so happens we stayed next to some apartments that were named Persian. Also, I stayed on a block called Marshfield back in Illinois. And just so happened to be 80th in Marshfield, the number 8, which is my life path number. 8037. Have the 8 and the 10, which equals 9. 8 plus 1. The divine 9, 144. 9. I saw his star in the east, or they saw the star in the east. Go east, young man. So, it was the first temple known to have been built in where? Southern Iraq. Is it Iraq or is it Chirac? 4 separate excavations at the site of Eridu have demonstrated the existence of a shrine dating back to the earliest Ubaid period, more than 6,500 years ago. I know it's not raining. It was not no rain in the forecast. Why do I want to play with me today? Whatever. Let me see how much. Not want me to finish. We should be able to finish that. Let's get this done. Okay. It's still some more. I still didn't finish writing it out, but what I got, we're going to get done. Okay, so over the following 4,500 years, the temple was expanded 18 times until it was abandoned during the Persian period. On this basis, Thorkild Jacobson has hypothesized that the original deity of the temple was Abzu, with his attributes later being taken by Enki over time. P. Steinkeller believes that during the earliest period, Enki had a subordinate position to a goddess, possibly Nin-Hersag, taking the role of divine consort or high priest, later taking priority. The Enki temple had its entrance a pool of fresh water, and excavation has found numerous carp bones, suggesting collective feasts. Carp are shown in the twin water flows running into the later god Enki, suggesting continuity of these features over a very long period. These features were found at all subsequent Sumerian temples, suggesting that the temple established the pattern for all subsequent Sumerian temples. All rules laid down at Eridu were faithfully observed. The mythology, creation myths of Enki and the world order. Preserved from old Babylonian tablets, Enki and the world order is one of the longest and best preserved myths in the Sumerian language. It portrays Enki as the god responsible for the organization of the world. His prerogatives are given to him by Enlil, the chief god of the pantheon, here his older brother. In this myth, the city of is depicted as the capital of Sumer. It has been argued that this reflects an original date of composition of the myth at the time of the Third Dynasty. The composition begins with the poet's praise of Enki. Enki then praises himself twice, declaring his intention to journey to Sumer, Malua, and Magan, and Dilmun, to which the Anuna gods respond positively, praising his connection to Mes, fundamental powers and decrees of the gods which enable the functioning of human civilization. We are learning today, darling. Didn't I tell you this is the Piscean channel? All things Piscean, which means all things ever to exist. You might come and see over here. This is not a building page, darling. That is just a temporary dwelling for the goddess, darling. Are you upset? Because I don't have to work like you, darling. I do what I want. And right now, it is time to ascend. Do not dwell in the pit. You cannot be in the pit over here, darling. Come up out of the pit if you want to see the light of day. All right. Now, don't be trying to slide in here when you see me read and coming to disrupt my classroom. You will get put out, put you in the corner first, and then we're going to send you to the principal office. Hold on. What future? Future, get the switch. Form. You know we do that stick talk, that stick talk. Stop playing over here. I will have my teacher's pet gone to get the switch on him. The switch for him. And now it ain't metal. And he keep asking, how shoot if it's plastic? stick. So you'll see if your boy run up. He sat back and set the turn the Carter back up. But for sure, hey Big Mike, better step your authority up before you step to the sergeant, son. I got army guns. You ain't never harmed me, young. Anyway, back to the lesson. Why y'all be wanting me to be ghetto? Huh? I be trying to stay in my teacher repertoire. Okay, okay. Let's keep it sacred, okay? You know you ghetto. Look at the way you walk. Oh, look at how she talks. Look at the clothes you wear. All right, so the cult personnel of Enki performs various rituals to purify his temple. The god then travels on his boat accompanied by his divine attendants. He blesses Sumer and the city of Ur. He then travels to Malua, which he blesses with luxuriant fauna and flora, and Dilmun, which he purifies, blesses, and gives to Ninsikila. He blesses the Martu. In a fragmentary passage, he curses Elam and Maharsai. Where my Bible scholars at to know about the city or the people of Elam, Elam, or male inverse. So the second half of the composition focuses on his institution of different crafts and his attribution of different areas of responsibilities to other gods. Enki fills the Tigris and Euphrates with water and puts in Belulu, what's the name of that little demon? Labubu? In Belulu, in charge of its regulation. He then puts a deity whose name is not preserved in charge of the lagoons and marshes. So something about the creature from the Black Lagoon. He entrusts the sea, where he built a shrine, to Nanshi, plans the functioning of the rain, and puts Ishkur in charge of it. He takes care of the agricultural tools and puts in Kimdu in charge of them. Then he provides the field with various grains and vegetables and assigns this domain to Ezina. Enki assigns the task of preparing bricks to Kula. He then builds a model house and appoints Mushdama in charge of house construction. Michelle, darling, I manifest the weather. Okay? This is exactly how I like the weather. Cool enough for me to build, warm enough for me to chill. The elements are on my side, darling. Do not worry for the goddess. Please. Please. Okay? The word must be heard. The word definitely keeps me warm. It is a fire in my bones, darling. Holy Spirit fire. Shia fire, the fire of life. There is no cold that can get to my bones. I am from Chicago, darling. The Windy City. Ain't no southern cold that can get to me, okay? Confirmation if you heard that horn. We've been doing this for the last 3.5 years. Dre. Let us get finished with this sermon. No more distractions. I told y'all this is class. This is the Spiritual Ascension Center. Read the title, read the profile, mind your business. Don't come in here speaking on my personal business. My son is Jesus. So where you going with your conversation? Huh? The Adonai. Huh? The Ancient of Days. Huh? You want to know where my son at? You will see him in your dreams. Huh? Be careful who you put your mouth on. Understand? You don't know what spirit you are entertaining. Be careful, because you might just put a curse on your bloodline. Be careful, because you might just put a curse on your own son, speaking on mine. Understand? I'm like Moses. My family got my son. Mind your business. He don't need to be out here. He ain't the one out here to teach. My children were homeschooled. Understand? Like I said, mind your business. Go find you something to do. Because you clearly ain't got nothing going for yourself. If you over here worrying about God's children, the chosen ones, you need to worry about where your soul gonna lay at. Be careful you don't end up in a lake burning with fire. Then go ahead and get up out of here. Both of y'all. Goodbye. Lightning on your head. Lightning. Yeah, I'm calling down the angels on legion of angels, holy angels, to take care of y'all. How about that? You will never speak on a chosen one again. This is them days when what we speak, hold weight. The words that we let out of our mouth in these days, baby, it ain't no game. If I told you something, I meant it. All these cursed bloodlines, want to come up against the ones. Come on, Cletus. Come on. We ain't finna fuss and fight over here. We got business to take care of. Y'all out here playing in the land. Come on now. Archons, agents, distractions, class clowns. This is a really good school. Shout out to the nun. So, let's see, did we finish that? So after providing the steppe with vegetation and herds, he puts Sumugan in charge of it. See, got work to do. He performs certain tasks, such as the demarcation of boundaries, and puts Utu in charge of the universe. And that's a lot of people's problem. They don't know how to respect boundaries. Watch your mouth. Just watch your mouth. We don't got time for the unnecessary conversations. We are not even about to continue to entertain them. Come in the door, take your shoes off, for you are now on holy ground. 24, 1 and 24 elders. Stop playing with me. Come on now. Now, he then organizes the art of weaving and assigns this domain to Utu. Thank you, Rip, darling. It was funny. Oh, now you're going to make me take it off. Yeah, dang. I got to show y'all that, though. So I was just looking at my jacket. And, you know the spirit be talking. So it says on the jacket, love for humanity. And if you know my song Planet XX, we know XX is the mother, the the chromosomes and whatnot. I was supposed to get into styling and things of that nature, but the way the spirit was moving on me, we can't do everything everybody do. You're like, nope, we need you over here. Over here, ma'am. Style yourself. I sure wanted to be a stylist before. I definitely did. Definitely did. So, the art of weaving. If anybody knows about the OTO, OVO, whatever it's called, with the Illuminati, they and I just saw this recently. They have a thing outside of the Bohemian Grove. Big five, dropping fives on them. Um, they have a thing outside of the Bohemian Grove that says no spiders can enter or something like that. I have to go back and read up on that, but and a spider literally just get off my paper. What the hell? Where you even come from? A red little tiny spider. Okay, so in the last and longest section, Inanna intervenes to complain that she has not received suitable functions. uh, So, in a badly preserved section, Enki responds by pointing out the functions that she already holds. So, here we have the goddess, okay, and the god, and the goddess, she's complaining that she has nothing to do. Sound familiar? Enki and Ninhursag. This myth is known from 3 old Babylonian copies, one from Nippur, one from and one from an unknown provenance. It is a source of debate in modern scholarship, subject to various different translations and interpretations. At the beginning of the text, the story is set in Dilmun. I don't know, I just heard Duluth. What's the name of that group? Uh, Damn it. Nirvana. Nirvana is it? Inanna, Urbana, Anna. I don't know. Uh, so the goddess of Dilmun, Ninsikala or Ninsikila, complains to Enki that her land lacks water. And where did they take our people away from? The water. Because the water is a power source, also a food source, the source of the fruit's growth, so the fertilizer of the land. They divert the water away from the goddess. So, what happens to the goddess when there is no water? She dries up. Have you ever seen our hair when it is dry? Stuff needs water. You can't even detangle it without water. I literally have to be under the water or in the water, in the shower, or if I'm in a tub, I'm laying in the water in order to detangle my hair. So, the water means a lot for the melanated woman or man, either way. We are one. Remember that. So Enki responds by summoning underground sweet waters to Dilmun, and as a result, it becomes a rich, fertile land. Some scholars identify Ninsikilla as another name of Ninhursag in this myth. However, this interpretation is not universally accepted. The next scene takes place in the marshes in south of Sumer. Enki sleeps with Ninhursag and she becomes pregnant. After 9 days, here we go, the number 9 days of gestation, she gives birth to Ninisig slash Ninsar. One day, Enki spots Ninisig slash Ninsar along the riverbank in the marsh. He also sleeps with her. She becomes pregnant, and after 9 days of gestation, she gives birth to Ninkura. Similarly, Enki sees her, has intercourse with her. She becomes pregnant, and after 9 days of gestation, she gives birth to Utu. In a variant of the story, she instead gives birth to Ninema, who is the one to give birth to Utu. What follows is a fragmentary passage in which Ninhursag apparently instructs Utu to not let Enki into her house unless he gives her cucumbers, apples, and grapes as a gift. Enki summons sweet waters, making the land fertile, and a gardener gives him cucumbers, apples, and grapes as thanks. Enki brings them to Utu, introducing himself as the gardener, and she opens her house to him. He then has intercourse with her. Ninhursag removes his semen from Utu's body and grows 8 plants from it. Mary Underwood, we are talking about Enki, the god of the Anunnaki, in relation to Azazel, the scapegoat ritual in the Bible. Bro, skeeters, they still out. Always trying to bite me on my neck. So it's looking like from this one, it looks like he or it, the water, the fertilizing water, was getting women pregnant, but it seems like it was only females, because it says that she got pregnant, then she had a baby, then he had intercourse with her, she got pregnant and had a baby. Let us continue though, just keep that in mind. So she took the semen and made 8 plants. 8. 9 days gestation, 8 plants. So Enki spots the unfamiliar plants in the marsh and decides to eat them in order to know their heart and determine their destiny. As a result, Ninhursag curses him and he falls deathly ill. A fox offers its help to Enlil and the other gods, and Enlil promises it fame and to erect 2 Kiskanu trees in its honor if it succeeds in bringing Ninhursag back. The fox adorns itself and goes to see Ninhursag. Due to the fragmentary passage of the text, it is unknown how it managed to convince her to heal Enki. Ninhursag asks Enki which parts of him hurt, and after he names them, she facilitates the birth of 8 deities, which removes the illness from his body. Their names contain elements which pun with the ill body parts of Enki. Abu is connected to the top of the head, and the Akkadian word Abatu, Ninsikilla, to the hair. Siki being the word for hair, Ninkeradu to the nose, Kiri meaning nose, Kiri, Ninkasi to the mouth, Ka being the word for mouth, Nazi to the throat, or Z, the word for throat, Nazi. You said he's a drone bee. Something about the beehive, hive mind, minions, clones. So the Azuma to the arm, Ninti to the rib, insect to the side. The myth ends with the assignment of roles to the new deities and a formula of praise to Enki. Comparisons have been made between Enki's eating of the plants and its consequences, and Adam and Eve's eating of the apple in Genesis. Enki and Ninmah. This myth is known from a few tablets in Sumerian from the Old Babylonian period, as well as bilingual Sumerian Akkadian copy from the Neo Assyrian period. In the first part of the myth, Enki creates mankind in collaboration with his mother Ninmah and several helper goddesses, while the second part focuses on a drunken contest between Ninmah and Enki. The beginning of the myth describes a time in which the gods had to work for their food themselves. The gods who work grow dissatisfied with their situation. Enki, who lies asleep in his bed in the Apsu, is woken up by Namu. Here, his mother, who informs him of their complaints and tells him to create a substitute to perform the hard labor. Enki derives a plan to create mankind from the clay of the Apsu and delegates its execution to his mother, assisted by Ninmah and seven helper goddesses. In the second section, the gods take part in a banquet where Enki is praised. Enki and Ninmah get drunk and start a competition. Ninmah fashions 6 humans with some kind of physical disabilities, the nature of which is not always understood. Each time, Enki successfully finds a place in society for them. They then exchange roles. Enki creates 2 beings, the second of which, called Umul, is in such bad shape that Ninmah cannot decree a good fate for them. As a result, she loses the competition. Then Ninmah gives a difficult to interpret speech where she complains about being chased from her city after it was attacked, accusing Enki of being responsible for her misfortune. Due to the damage to this section of the text, Enki's answer and the resolution of the myth is unclear, but it seems that he attempts to appease Ninmah and that he finds a place for Umul. Some scholars have interpreted Umul as a premature or not fully developed baby. So these are some very interesting texts. Your girlfriend's a freak like Cirque du Soleil. The Enuma Elish, the Babylonian epic of creation, celebrating the elevation of Babylon's national god Marduk as the head of the Mesopotamian pantheon, was composed in the 2nd millennium BCE. It has been suggested to date to the reign of Nebuchadnezzar I. Thank you, Ripped. Like Beyblades. Your name made me think about Beyblades. Well, in certain texts, they claim that Yeshua was He was illiterate. Y'all know he say he can't read. He told y'all he can't read. Leave that man alone. I had to leave him alone, y'all. He in the garden, y'all. Okay? You gotta learn too. Mama got to come teach. Mama had to come down. Okay? Pay attention to the stories now. Every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess that the mother reigns supreme. Y'all should know me well enough. Please don't call me on my bluff. Falling bigger than LeBron. Who they think they stuntin' on? Louis 13, it's all on me. Could you just bought a shot? Kamikaze if they think that they gon' knock me off the top. Shit. Stop playing with the queen. I know. That angel with the little book. The woman of revelations. 13 ghosts. Duh. Do you know who Santa Claus is, my dude? My little brother, his name was Nicholas. Saint Nick. Old Saint Nick. What about Krampus? They don't talk about the other side of Santa Claus, the one that brings coals to the bad kids. Huh? What about that? Gang stars. Tavares. Gangs of stars. Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. What? Chuck your gang sign if you gang bang. What they say, huh? Oh, big GD. Big G's, not the little ones. The angel with the book. Now, see, like Mary Magdalene, they would have you think that I was this and I was that. She's on this, she's on that. I am on nothing more than a high of the land. The land gets me high. Love gets me high. Huh? They would have loved to put me in the asylum. They better free Larry. Huh? Lawrence, the law rinses. Understand? The law. Understand? The G code, Wody. Huh? I'm an outlaw to the false law, but I am the law. Let's finish up. So, Nebuchadnezzar. If you read about Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible, you know that he went out, or he was cursed because of the things that he had taken from the temple. So he was cursed to go out into the wilderness and eat grass for 7 years. So, the reign of Nebuchadnezzar the First, though there is no secure evidence for its date of composition, in the Enuma Elish, EA plays a crucial role in killing Abzu, here personified as a god of an older generation, and he becomes the father of the future king of the gods, Marduk. That's right. Gang stars, guys. Gang stars. So the beginning of the poem describes the creation of the first gods as a result of the mingling of Tiamat and Apsu. While Apsu is usually the name of EA's underground cosmic water domain, it appears here as the personification of these waters and as Tiamat's consort. Ea is here the son of Anu, himself created from the union of the pair Anshar and Kishar or Kishar, themselves the result of the union between Lamu and Lahamu, themselves the result of the union between Tiamat and Apsu. The clamor and restless behavior of the younger gods angers Apsu and Tiamat. While Tiamat is initially reluctant to harm her creations, Apsu plots to kill the younger gods, supported by his vizier, Mumu. Ea becomes aware of Apsu's designs and devises a plan to foil them. He fashions a sleep spell that he casts on Apsu and Mumu. When they are asleep, he binds and then kills Apsu and imprisons Mumu. Afterwards, he establishes his abode on the body of Apsu, which becomes his underground water domain. The following section deals with the birth of Marduk, Ea's son with Damkina, described as surpassing all gods. Now, Marduk is Marduk, what's his name in the Bible? Nimrod in the Bible, in Genesis. So his grandfather Anu, delighted with the young god, gives him the four winds. You can read about the four winds of heaven in the Bible. The waves that Marduk creates by whirling the winds irritate a group of gods only specified as children of Tiamat. And if you know how Satan is described, or Lucifer, he is described as the god or the prince of the power of the air. They urge her to act and avenge her consort and his vizier. She raises an army and takes the god Kingu as her new consort. When Ea learns of her preparations, he is horrified and brings the news to his grandfather Anshar. Anshar is initially angered and blames Ea for the situation caused by his murder of Apsu. Ea defends himself by arguing that it was a necessary action at the time. Anshar then orders Ea to defeat Tiamat. He fails, and Anshar then sends Anu, who also fails. Ea then summons his son and instructs him to seek out Anshar and volunteer to challenge Tiamat. Then Ea from his secret dwelling called the perfect one of Anshar, father of the great gods, whose heart is perfect like a fellow citizen or countryman, the mighty heir who was to be his father's champion, who rushes fearlessly into battle, Marduk the hero. He told him his innermost design, saying, "O Marduk, take my advice, listen to your father. You are the son who sets his heart at rest. Approach Anshar, drawing near to him, and make your voice heard. Stand your ground. He will be calmed by the sight of you." Foster proposes that while the design of Ea in his translation, secret words, could refer to magic words told to Marduk, it could also be connected to Marduk's later demand to the gods to be made their king in exchange for his help. Marduk's offer is accepted by the gods. After his defeat of Tiamat, Marduk organizes the universe. He tells Ea his idea to create mankind from divine blood so that they might do the hard labor of the gods. Ea suggests that one of the rebels be killed to fashion this new creature. Marduk then demands that the rebellious gods hand over their leader in exchange for amnesty. The rebellious gods single out Kingu. he is executed, and EA fashions mankind from his blood. While EA still participates in the creation of mankind in accordance with older Mesopotamian tradition, where he works with the mother goddess to fashion the new being, the idea of the creation of mankind is there attributed to his son. The role of the mother goddess in the older tradition is here fully taken over by EA. In the last sections dealing with Marduk's multiple names, EA gives to his son his own name and puts him in charge of his offices. The disputation between the bird and the fish. Well, that's what I want to know. What is the hard work of a god? They don't want to see them kids out here playing. They ain't ready. We loosen them. Loosen the bounds and the reins of the land. Let my people go, so that we may serve our God. Huh? The God of true love. Big 7-4. It was 374. Big 7-4 to the world blow. Gotta let them know. Know you hate to see them G's when you open the door. So the disputation between the bird and the fish. The beginning of this Sumerian disputation poem relates a creation story centered on Enki. It is depicted bringing the waters of the land together and organizing them, giving the Tigris and Euphrates their places and laying down irrigation ditches. He sets up stalls, sheepfolds, cities, and hamlets, causes the people to multiply, and organizes their system of government. He then organizes the marshes and furnishes them with abundant fauna and flora. The first brick. EA appears in his role as a creator deity in a building incantation concerned with the renovation of temples known from late Babylonian tablets and a late Assyrian fragment, dubbed the first brick. Now, if we know about those bricks, the bitumen, the mortar, and what is it called? I think it is bricks and mortar. But the master builders, we know about the stone that the builders rejected, the masons. Okay, so the first brick. It contains a creation myth in which EA creates the Abzu and then fashions from clay various deities as well as a king and mankind, which all participate in the temple renovation process. The deities created are Kula, tasked to renovate the first brick, the deities Ninildu, Ninsimug, and Ninagal, tasked to help with the construction. The deities Arazu, Geskinbanda, Ninzadim, Ninkura, Asnan, Lahar, looks like Cyrus, Ningizida, Ninsar, Adag, Umun Mutu, Muta, Umun Mutamgu, and Umun Mutamnag, the last eight. Here we go with that number 8. The last 8 of which are instructed to supply resources to mankind for their regular offerings, and finally, Kusu tasked to perform the rites of the temple. The story of the flood. Atrahasis. The myth is the longest preserved Old Babylonian epic. It is known from Old Babylonian tablets. Best preserved being 3 tablets written by the scribe Kuaya under the reign of Ami Saduqa, perhaps from Sippar, 2 Middle Babylonian pieces, one from Ras Shamra and one from Nippur, as well as 14 Neo-Assyrian pieces from the library of Ashurbanipal. Enki plays a crucial role in Atrahasis. He first creates mankind alongside the mother goddess, variously named Mami, Mama, Nintu, and Belet Eli or Ili, and later opposes Enlil's attempts to wipe it out, which culminate in the sending of the flood. The myth begins describing a time in which the gods had to work for their food. Didn't we read this already? Oh, I guess they got some different stuff in there. So they had to work for their food themselves. The gods divide the world between themselves. Anu claims the heavens as his domain. Enlil claims the earth, and Enki claims the underground water ocean Apsu. The task of working falls to the Ejiji gods. After 40 years of toiling, they grow discontent and rebellious. They set fire to their tools and surround Enlil's Iker shrine in Nippur. 40 years in the wilderness, right? I'm 40 now. They say, turn your weapons into plowshares. Huh? Tired of working. Working for who? Working for what? Give me my land. That's all I need. Get off my lawn. So, Enlil is woken up by his vizier Nusku, who informs him of the situation. Anu and Enki are brought into Enlil's presence. Enki suggests that the mother goddess creates a new being, man, to bear the load of the work instead of the Ijiji. He proposes a plan to create man from a mix of clay and divine blood and works together with the mother goddess to fashion this new creature. The god, looks like Willa or Willa, is killed and his blood used to create mankind. The process of creation of mankind itself is not entirely preserved. The mother goddess is congratulated and named Mistress of all gods, or Belet Kala Ili. Now, if anybody has ever seen the Vampire Diaries, you notice how the original vampires would they would bite their victim, or if the victim was almost dead, they would give the victim their blood. Then the person would heal, but if they died while the blood was still in their system, then they would become a vampire. And if they didn't have their first kill, then they would die a vampire. But this is what this is given. So in the next section, oh, and when you killed the original vampire, then all of the vampires under them also died. So in the next section of the myth, mankind has multiplied and they create so much noise that Enlil is unable to sleep. He decides to wipe out humanity by sending a plague. The text introduces Atrahasis, who prays to his god Enki for help. Enki instructs him to tell his fellow men to stop praying and sending offerings to all of the gods, and to instead concentrate their offerings on the god responsible for the plague, Namtar. Atrahasis executes Enki's instructions, and Namtar, pleased and embarrassed by the gift, alleviates the plague. Humans multiply, and once again, Enlil is unable to sleep due to the noise. He decides this time to wipe out humanity with a famine and orders Adad, the weather god, to withhold his rain. Once more, Atrahasis prays to Enki, who instructs him to tell his fellow men to stop praying and sending offerings to all the other gods, and again to instead concentrate their offerings on Adad. Adad is embarrassed by the gift and discreetly allows enough rain for humanity to survive. The composition at this point is fragmentary and entire passages are missing. Enlil resumes the drought but appoints Anu and Adad as guards of the heavens, Enki as guard of the regions under the earth, and himself as guard of the earth. His plan is foiled in an incident which involves fish being freed on the starving humanity. Enlil then confronts Enki. He decrees that humanity will be wiped out by a flood and has him swear an oath against his will to ensure his cooperation. That's all for today, class. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. So that is again Enki in regards to the scapegoat. So the desert. Who lives in the desert? Why do they live in the desert? The water, the fertile land versus infertile lands, gods versus demons, and whatnot. So, big hearts, you guys. Love you guys. You said the divine blood is the Masons. Exactly. The God Kings, the shamans, the chiefs, Native American chiefs. So we're going to get into more of that tomorrow. Tomorrow, come back in the morning for updates on the shack, the shanty. And yeah, about to eat my little fruit and probably watch me a movie on my phone. Plug up my little phone. We're going to have some music tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming in, listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you already have it. Peace, love, and hair grease. Don't forget to put that oil on and keep that oil in your lamps, my darlings. Okay? Keep that oil in your lamps because you ain't getting none of mine. Okay? Oh, oh. Peace out, y'all.